I forgot to start the recording on this, but what
We're
I
going to be
intend to
recording
do
that.
in the future, what my intention is to stream this live over onto Facebook, into either one of the groups or to my page or whatever. I'm gonna talk to everybody and find out where they think it would be the most beneficial place to share it
Yeah.
and record it, but then also be going live over there, and that we can get together every Friday and just kind of hash over some of the things that we learned during the week. What did we learn this week? I think before we get into that, though, Carolyn, will you give a little bit of your story of why you are part of the Breakfast Club, why you love it, what it's helped you with?
Well, let me see where to start. So let me go back and tell you my background, our family's background with Travis and his family. We have been knowing them for over 10 years. My husband was from Arizona. Travis lives in Arizona. We lived out in Phoenix, and I think he lives in Gilbert. And so through the years, in a couple of different businesses, we became friends. And then we became personal friends. That happens a lot of times in business. You hope it happens, right? You hope you're just not somebody that gets on there and you had fun and you made money and then you walk away. Because of that, and because of his success, anytime he goes anywhere, there's a following that he has. I don't follow blindly. There's been a couple of things he's done that wasn't maybe something that appealed to me as far as being really active, but I made sure that I supported it through being a customer, if that makes sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I've been with him. So is Rick. And we have grown exponentially. When you have a 6, 7, or 8 figure earner talking to you, then how can you not grow if you do what he does, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest thing, if I can say this, and then I'll let somebody else step in here. I'll just tell you a little bit. The biggest thing for me, as far as character goes, there's a trait out there that I don't see very often, and especially in the network marketing business. And for me, it's like the most important character trait, and that is loyalty. I don't know how anybody else feels about that. Maybe you think you couldn't possibly have that. But the biggest groups that I've ever seen developed where I've made the most money, you had some loyalty. You had people on a scale of 1 to 10 that were at least a 7 to 10 and a few 10s. And that's important to me. Now, it doesn't mean that, you're going to do everything they're going to do or be everything that they are. But we cannot build a group without a bond, right? You can't build it. You can make money. You can all go your own direction. But I was with one company for 26 years. 26, one company. I saw kids
Company
get
was
married.
that?
Well, okay. I mean, if y'all aren't going to laugh, this is going to be recorded, okay? It was a designer, notice the key word, designer lingerie business.
Nice.
I said designer lingerie. Oh my gosh. And this is really going to be fun when you hear this one, but y'all are big boys and girls, so you can hear it. The business was, so we did, I did lingerie parties. Women came, lots of women came. And their guys for Valentine's or Christmas or whatever was going on, their birthdays, they would order for their wives or their friends, whatever. The business, I saw my friends have their children to grow up and get married and have children. So that's how long we were in that business together. And I can tell you that along with the designer lingerie business, I hope I can say this, but it was a custom fitted bra business, meaning from 26A to 52 double M.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, wow. I knew I would get some I've got some frowns here and some laughs here, but women would fly all over the country to get these bras, and especially large women. I'm not going to go into all of that and describe it or anything, but and also it was when breast cancer in the early, I was in there, it was just really picking up, breast cancer. And back then, women that had breast cancer, most of them didn't make it, to be honest. Okay. So I was doing a lot of prostheses. You know what a prosthesis was back then? I mean, I don't know. You're not old enough, some of you, but it was a replacement where they'd had a mastectomy, okay, for them. And so I would watch these poor women go from one size to another size to another size and be with them through that journey. And it taught me so much about that we're not just in a business to make money. And if you are, it won't last forever, because money is a tool and how you use it determines the outcomes. It doesn't cry, it doesn't laugh, it doesn't get happy or sad or mad. It's a tool. And when people know you care more about them than money, and that's not easy to always do. I just got rid of that person. Then they're listening to you, because see, most people today are not listening to anyone else about anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that was my background. I was there for 26 years. Then Rick and I owned insurance agencies in Arizona and Texas. He lived in Arizona. I lived in Texas. We went a company trip to Padre Island, and that's where we met. And we've been together ever since. We had his, mine, and ours. He had a son. I had a son, 11 and a half. He had a son too, and we had a daughter together that most of y'all have met, Candace, right? That's she calls herself the baby. She will always be the baby and the girl. God has been really good to us. And when I got in this business, I got into the business because I wanted to make a difference in people's lives, very much so. And I also wanted to tell people you have hope, right?
Yeah.
No matter where you're at or how. I mean, people can look like they're happy on the outside, but be very sad on the inside. And it's our job to be hope makers and curse breakers. So on that note, I'll turn it back to y'all.
I love that. You know, that's the way I am. I'm very loyal. In fact, one of my favorite loyalty stories to tell people is that I'm a big time sports fan. I've been a sports junkie since I was in third grade.
Yeah.
My brother got me watching football, and I became a Rams fan because I loved their uniforms as a young kid. And I'll tell you what, there have been some rough years being a Rams fan, you know? And then also, I'm a BYU fan, which blows a lot of my friends away because I'm not LDS, I'm not Mormon. Um but back in 1984, I never watched college football. I was only interested in pro football.
Yeah.
And in 1984, BYU went on this miraculous run, and they
Mhm.
went undefeated, and they won the national championship,
Yep.
right?
I remember. Yep.
And that got me into watching college football, and from there on, I was a BYU fan. And all of my friends, all of my family, except
They
for
were
one
all invited.
person, my next oldest brother, the one who got me into watching sports, he's the only BYU fan in my entire circle. Everybody else are University of Utah fans, and we have this clashing rivalry with each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's been rough being a BYU fan over a lot of these years, but I'm I'm loyal. They got me
Yeah.
into it. I'll always be a fan, regardless of how well they do, how
Yeah.
great they do.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Rams, same thing with, basically I've carried that out into my whole entire life. And my loyalty will be there for everybody and anybody until they give me a reason for it not to be.
I got you. Yep.
And so one of the things that I really want to try to do with these meetings on Friday morning is just get all the kids together that are part of get together without Papa. You know,
Without
I mean,
Papa.
I'd love it if Papa comes
We
in
don't
and
want
joins
Papa
in
to
with us,
come.
right? But it's like, hey, what did we learn this week? We met for 4 mornings in a row.
Yeah.
We had all these strategies that we utilized.
Yeah.
What was the best thing that you learned this week in the Breakfast Club? Or what are a couple of your favorite things that you learned? What do you got? Which one you want me to start?
Anything.
I loved
You're the
everything that
man.
I learned. I really did. I loved everything that I learned this week, from, conversations to exposures to
Mhm.
exposure to exposure to
Yeah.
exposure to
Yeah.
exposure. I mean, that whole reverse pyramid
Hmm.
of funneling people down after one exposure after another after
Yeah.
another after another, until they tell you to, you know, stop trying to. But that's the key, is we've got to learn to stop with the, because people feel like you're trying to shove your business down their throat. And I think that's one of the greatest things about Travis, is he's teaching us all how to stay in contact and keep the process moving without the people feeling like we're trying to shove our stuff down their throat. And I understand why people feel that way, because heck, for all the time that I've been, literally for the last 8 years, I've been shoving all my business and my company down everybody's throat. It's been 80 to 90% business posts, and maybe 20% coming in on the fun side, on the value side. It's been, business, 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 business. I even replied to a comment, or somebody's post. They said something like, "Why do you use Facebook?" or something like that. And I said, "I use it for business." And that's the wrong way to use Facebook. The way to use Facebook is to develop relationships with people, to help. We all know that people people do business and work with people who they know, like, and trust. And you don't get people to know, like, and trust by shoving your business down their throat every minute of every day. And that's probably the greatest lesson that I learned, pretty much right out of the chute. And it's something that I should have learned a long time ago. And so, that is a really huge thing for me. And I loved the little clock thing, where you take a circle and you separate it into the four areas. You've got 1 to 3, and 1 to 3, between 1 and 3 o'clock. These people, they're good. They don't need anything you got. Yeah, no. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm good. Everything's great. And then the 3 to 6 people, things are starting to look a little sketchy. I'm not sure. Maybe what I thought I was doing isn't quite working out as good as I thought. And then the 6 to 9 o'clock, it's holy moly, things are going downhill fast. I need to do something. What am I gonna do? I need to start looking around. Oh man, that Jay, he's been talking about some things that, might potentially move me in a different direction, might help me out. And then, of course, from 9 to high noon, it's like, I gotta get busy. I gotta find something. I gotta do something now. I gotta make something happen. And I love that concept. And it all ties in with the conversations, exposures, conversations, exposures, for however long it takes. And I love this, because sometimes you can, sometimes, even though you're shoving your stuff down people's throats, sometimes you get the opportunities to show somebody something special. You get to add some value that takes over. And one of my buddies, who, when I got involved with Kangen Water 8 years ago, he was the first person that I reached out to. He's a really, really dear friend of mine, and he's also a scientist. And I reached out to him about this water, and he just shot me down like, you know. Oh, that's stupid. It's crazy. You know, that water's water. It's just right? Well, years later, we get on a river trip together, and he has, let's say, he has like burned the candle at both ends too long and too much, getting prepared for this river, had a little too much sauce, showed up to the put in, and that night he was throwing up out both ends all night long. I get up in the morning and he's still in bed. He's still in his tent. And he's like, "Oh, I'm eating lice, man. Oh, yeah." I go, you're dehydrated. You need some water." He goes, "I've been drinking water all night and throwing it all up." And I go, "No, hold on." And I ran down to the boat and I grabbed some Kong. I brought it up to him and I said, "Drink." He goes, "No, I've been drinking and throwing up." I go, "Drink." And he drank, and he didn't throw it up. And literally within like 10 minutes, his nausea was gone. He was able to get up. He was actually able to go and do his day. He was beat up all day long. But he was able to get up because at that point he couldn't even get up without throwing up. And so anyway, he he ended up, after 5 years, he ended up buying a Kangen water machine because of that. And so when Travis was going through this conversation expose, conversation expose, conversation expose, I was like, that is exactly what we need to do, and it works. And so it's kind of cool to see some of these things that we learn and see how they actually worked out in real life. And so whatever it is you're doing, like Rodgar with LifeWave, you you just, if you stay consistent with that and just keep sharing it, keep keep putting out the great results that people are getting, keep giving people the opportunity to patch up, and you know eventually, if you stay consistent, it's gonna work. It's gonna show people what they need, and it's gonna provide solutions to their problems. What do you think about that?
You mean me?
Well, I like the way that Travis broke down all the steps of everything this week, like went step by step. And I have to take notes because then I go back through, like sometimes when Travis does his lives, I'll take my walk in the afternoon and I just listen to it, what he's saying over and over. It has to sink in. I haven't gotten started like you guys have. I haven't done the lives yet. I think I kind of joined our group a little bit after, but I'm liking this concept of staying consistent and, you know, keeping the focus going.
Well, this isn't exactly a live, but it's getting recorded and you're going to be in it.
I know, see? And it's baby steps for me because I think that's what hasn't worked for me in the past. I've done so many of these um, entrepreneurial type businesses that I try to get in, and then I'll get my friends. And, one of my mentors a few years back told me, your friend, because I'm a teacher, my background is I've been teaching for 25 years. And they said, people aren't going to relate to you unless you tell your story. So I need to get good at telling my story because people are going to say, I'm not somebody that makes money. So they're not going to be like, well, yeah, I'll follow you because you're making all this money. So I have that where I'm stuck and I need to get out of that mindset. So I think right now my focus is finding my new mindset, finding my path. And I really enjoy, like, Roy is killing it. And Carolyn, you and Candace, like, I enjoy watching you. Like, I love when you guys do your lives together. So that's really motivating for me too. So
So what do you have to add to this, Rodgar? I know you do, because I know you're from the same mindset already.
Well, to the last person that spoke, I would just want to give a little bit light. I have dealt with the teacher too in my downline, and sometimes the way I see it, they have a hard time to switch back to learning mode. Like they know they're a teacher, they have the mindset to teach somebody, but sometimes it takes a while till they switch back. I will be the person to learn now, right? But just to make a light there, but yeah, it has been the same for me. Like if you don't be consistent, you won't get anywhere. I have tried a number of businesses as well, and in the one I'm in right now, I'm for over a year now. Have been to ups and downs too, and at one point, Health Canada shut us down for 9 months, and we never quit because we saw the bigger picture. And the company is around for 20 years. They have their anniversary this year. 20 years, advanced technology. They switched over to a different concept. Well, call it a different concept. It's still the same thing. But yeah, it has been a learning journey. Like you learn every day, and consistency have to be number one, especially if you do social media marketing. Because if you're not there showing up every day, somebody else will be there. So I'm a guy too with struggles with lives. My wife is better at it. She can go live whenever she wants, but I still have to overcome that hoop as well. But we're pretty consistent in pumping out contact, and the way JJ said it have to be 80-20, but 80% have to be motivation and 20 have to be business. That's the way I have learned it. I'm not perfect at it either, but we all are human. We all make mistakes. We're all here to learn more. And that's just the way it is. I'm happy to listen to all of your stories. It's definitely something in to learn for me as well. And I'm not at the club yet, but I don't know when I will. But it is always good to be together, listening to people who have the success and pick up new nuggets. Thank you.
Yeah. What do you say about that, Carolyn?
Just to say something about that. Well, first of all, I want to talk to Tracy. Tracy, so what if I can just, that was like 800 women that I had working with me. And of the 800, 260, about 7 were regular, doing their business, their jobs to some level. And out of the 267, probably 150 were actually really progressing. The other ones were making money and they were fine. But there's a fallout to any organization to begin with. The way both of you guys, and is Rod, is he off where he can hear as well? Rod, you can hear Rod? Okay. The way that y'all are going to become good at lives is to get with somebody like me, not that I'm that great, but that you can feel comfortable with, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. There's no criticism. I'm not going to be sitting there going, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. Or don't do that this time. I might say, watch your flailing hands or some little thing, which I am. But if you can trust enough someone that you'll just put your hand in theirs, just baby hand in theirs and say, will you help me? I believe that God uniquely put us all together. I really believe that. And so I think each one of us come to the table with our own unique personalities and talents and abilities. And in fact, I think the world won't be as good of a place if we don't get to know your talent or ability, because no one can do what you do as good as you can do it. But I think encouragement with someone that will not reveal personal things, I think that is one of the things in any organization that can destroy it. Am I deviating too much? Is this okay? Okay.
No, this is perfect.
Love it.
Because what we want is trust. So let me start with how you find someone that's willing to help you, whether they make a dime off of you or not is not the thing. Because when we plant the crops, when the farmer plants the crops, he is sowing, right? And one day he's hoping to what? Reap a harvest. So hang on, if we're always concerned about me, what I'm going to get, how I'm going to get there fast, what about me? What about me? What about me? What about me? No. The concept is wrong. And God will come in. He's taking notes to begin with. And when he sees that we're doing it, not to get anything back, but to pour our life into someone that genuinely needs that, and that you can trust them. I mean, I didn't work on staff with my church, but for 9 years, I worked right with them. So people would come in, join the church, whatever, and I handled people's. There was one guy that was, I'll deviate and tell you, he was on the death row in Texas. And there's a place you go stay for just a little bit before you're executed. And that's a long story. I won't get into it, but that was all overturned. Now, I had to be somebody that could hear his story, right? But by the grace of God, I wasn't in the same shape he was in, right? I could not sit there and go, but you did. Today, he is happily married with his children. He's got a little girl, and they've got married. They have a little girl. I'm saying that if you find anybody, and it's hard to find, yes, someone that genuinely wants to put themselves out there, because people criticize. I mean, who wants to have anybody go, well, did you see? And she did, he did, But just get with me, Tracy. Just get with me and practice with me. Just get with me and I'll say, hey, I'll help you with that. I really mean that. Anybody else? I don't know you, Rodgar, but your wife is probably practicing with you. It sounds like you married your opposite person, right? But if she would never mind you having another voice, then I'm happy to do that. And here's the reason why. I get a kick out of seeing people grow on a scale of 1 to 10 to a 12 more than I get a kick out of growing myself. That's my whole honest to goodness. If I could see anyone begin to trust in life again and trust in people again and smile from the inside out, not just smiling because it's the thing to do, then to me, when I pass away one day, the legacy that I've left for my husband, if I'm first, and my children and grandchildren, is one I want them to follow. So I'm saying to y'all, that is the way you can get good. It's not be there and go home and talk to yourself and look in the mirror. You can do all that. You can practice, but practice with someone who can encourage you along the way. If that makes sense.
Love to do that. I would love to do that with you. Like, that's when I watch you and Candace, I was like, oh, I wish my mom would do that with me. My mom would never. She would be like, they say, what, you know what, Tracy, the only way you're going to make money is if you go get another job. I already work. I teach, and I'm working 24/7 anyway. I'm working while we're doing this, just I have 2 computers in front of me. Like,
are you a single mom or single married? What are you?
And I'm single. And so, like, a lot of these companies that I've been in, I think for me, the people that I watch, like even Travis, he has summer, and when they travel and they do their, they speak in front of people. I think it's wonderful that they do it together. And I'm always thinking, gosh, I wish I had someone to do that with. It would make it a little bit easier. So when I saw you, Candace, it was very motivating for me. And I'm like, I need to get either my daughter, or my daughter is, I have one 21-year-old and a 23-year-old. And each of them have my younger one has a 1.5 baby. So I have 2 grandkids, and the other one just had a baby a month ago. So.
Well, real quick, I was single for 11 and a half years. I told this on one of my lives that I dated really what I thought was cute guys. We don't try to date somebody ugly, right? I mean, that was a joke. I mean, I know this is recorded, but when you've been out there for a while, I'll climb the highest mountain. I'll swim the deepest ocean. But if it rains tomorrow, baby, I'm not coming over. I'll have to let you know. What am I saying? Single people can identify with single people. Yeah. And I ask God to never, ever, ever let me forget what that felt like. Okay. Now, Rick and I will be married 42 years, July 24th. Wow. And I tell people that he had to meet me in Padre Island, coming from Phoenix, meet me in Padre Island when I'm from Texas for me to actually have him. I make a joke out of it. The truth is, there are really good guys and really good girls out there. And the more we develop who we are and we see that God created us so uniquely that we have something to give back, guess what? People want to be with you. They want to be, they want you to tell your story. They want you to tell your story, right? They want you to do it. And so I'm excited that you are opening up. And hi, how are you? Is that
I'm Roger's, are you Roger's wife?
Yes.
yeah, to Roger's wife. I don't know her name.
Carola.
I'm sorry.
My name is Carola.
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. We just heard a lot of good things about you. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
She's a
So
rock
I'm going to
star.
turn
We
this
love
back
her.
to I'm going to turn this back to our fearless leader, JJ. But I am available. I am available. I will schedule time to be with y'all and to let y'all know that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I will not quit until you walk across the stage, because it isn't about how much money you made. It's about how much money you made and how many people you took with you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
We're a
yes.
team. What does team means? Together, everyone achieves more. That's what it means.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Your turn. Somebody else's turn.
That's what I love so much about this, you know, and when you get involved with people like this, and Tracy, you want to find that partner, that life partner, this is the kind of place to find them. Because what you're going to do is somebody's going to come into this because someone else out there somewhere brought them in, and you're going to end up meeting them.
Yeah.
I get all these people. Like, it's crazy too, because on my profile it says married 32 years to Tina, you know, and all this, and got pictures of me and my wife,
Doesn't matter.
things and all that. And I still get these crazy girls that reach out to me and say, "Hi, dear," you know, and
Oh, I got him every day, man.
you know, if you're looking for somebody,
Well, those are the
help
scammers
you
though. Stay,
find
run
somebody,
away
but
from
it's
that.
not going to be me. You know, like this, if you want to find somebody, come into something like this, because it's way better than going to a bar.
Yeah. Oh man. Yes.
I don't
And
go to bars to meet people.
you know,
Like,
that's
Yeah.
where I met my wife, and we've been married for 30
It can
years.
happen.
We actually met at a bar, but you know, that's another fun story in its own right.
Yeah.
I have so many fun stories in my life, but
Yeah.
you
but
guys,
yeah, you're saying building relationships in one way or another, whether you're meeting new friends, it's all about the 5 people that you hang out most with, right?
yes.
And I don't right now have that 5 people that I could say, these are the people that I can want to hang out with all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
I love it.
So
I love
this
it. I'm
breakfast
looking
club in the
forward to
morning
this.
really gives me hope that there's other people out there with the same mindset. And yeah, and where I live in Las Vegas area, so I always say I've been single here for 16 years, and it's just hard to meet quality people here.
Yeah,
But
well,
sometimes it needs the waiting time, right? I've been through
Yep.
it all too. I was married. I've been divorced. It's the same as my wife. We both stayed about almost 10 years ourselves.
Okay.
Till she found me. So, but
She found you.
but at the meantime, we're coming from the same place. We went to the same elementary school, and then we went our ways. She had a marriage what didn't work, and I had the same thing. My one walked away after 2.5 years, stayed almost 10 years myself, and she was just over 10 years
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
herself before she reached out to me. So
that's what I'd call a match made in heaven, baby.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to be praying for you, Tracy. I mean that for anyone else that has a special need, that God will bring somebody into your life and that, you know, you to them. You've got somebody out there looking right now. Y'all haven't met each other yet.
Yeah. Amen.
Thank you, Carolyn.
I love it. This is the Breakfast Club. This is the very first episode of the Friday
before.
Club, what I intend on marketing it as out there is the Breakfast Club Family Roundtable,
Okay,
where
that's
we
good.
get together each week and we, as many people as want to come in. I want to have this room open, start learning where and how to promote it. And it's the whole purpose of this is to be able to bring people into the Breakfast Club in a little part so they can get an idea of what
Who we are.
it's all about. And I think that if we do that, we will draw lots and lots and lots of people from all over the place. And I'm pretty sure that Travis will be more than happy to let us get together every Friday. And, right after this, we're going to be, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be going into the Align meeting and I'm going
Right,
to spend
exactly.
another hour learning from
Yeah,
Travis. And
100%.
then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to go out and take care of my day, implement as much as possible of what I've learned.
Hmm.
And, um, and I'm going to have an awesome day. I mean, you can't help but have a great day when you start every morning out by getting together with people that are smiling and
Yeah,
laughing and giving you good advice and giving you things that you can work with, giving you tools, giving you good vibe messages that you can roll with. And I've told the story about how I got in an argument with my sweetie and went to bed angry, no kiss, no hug. I went to bed. I was angry and I woke up angry. And then I came down that next day and got into the Breakfast Club. And by the time that was over with, I wasn't angry anymore. I was now excited. I went up and gave my sweetie a hug and all that stuff. And so you guys, the Breakfast Club, I think, is one of the greatest things that anybody will ever be able to do for themselves. I know it's huge for me, and it's the reason why I jumped into the 1X Dream Lifestyle Club. For me, I wanted this. Everything else that comes along with it is just icing on the cake. I needed and wanted this. I need and want to surround myself with the best of the best. And I think that is where I'm at with everything I'm doing. And one last thing about this that really hits hard for me. I have 4 different companies that I'm operating that I am extremely passionate about all of them. And they all have great things to offer. They all have the ability to help multitudes of people around the world. And that is ultimately my goal. The beautiful thing about this, when I joined into it, the first question I asked Kevin was, can I use this to build all my other things? And he said, absolutely. And the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter whether you're a school teacher or whether you're a network marketer or whether you're a carpet layer or whether you're a bricklayer or whether you're a cop or a judge or whatever it is you are, whatever it is you do. This will help you do it better. Plain and simple. That's what I love so much about it. It applies to everything because what we're talking about is life. We're talking about life every single day. And everybody that's alive has one. They have a
and
life.
JJ, we have no better leadership. Like I said, I've been in network marketing for 35, 40 years now. We have no better leadership. I'm not just saying that because we have Travis, but I know him personally, his wife personally. I've watched how he handles himself in or off the stage. He's the same guy. Don't you love that? You're not going to be surprised by him. He's not going to act some kind of way when he's at a convention with his little group. He's not like that. And on top of that, our CEO has, even though he's a younger man, has the wisdom of an older man in a young man's body. And you just want to hang on to hanging on because you know that you're at the right place at the right time. That's it. We're at the right place at the right time, encouraging one another, but we have the right leadership. We don't have to worry about being dropped on our face. That is very important, right?
Amen. Amen.
Well, you know what I love about Travis, in another company that I was with Travis, he was maybe 2 levels up from me. And I was in Costco one day, just like shopping, and his name pops up on my phone. He's calling me. I'm like,
Mhm.
what's
check on-
Why is he calling me? And he just said, hi, Tracy, it's Travis Flaherty. I just, sometimes I like to call some of my people that I don't talk to all the time
Mhm.
and just see how you're doing.
That's who he is.
Just calling to see how I'm doing.
That's who he is.
I'm like, wow.
That's who
Yep.
we all want to be, that's who we all need to be, quite frankly, and so I'm thinking that a lot of people are going to get great advantage out of this. And the way I look at it is it's a way that we can introduce people to this and give them a little taste. Give them a little taste. It doesn't cost them anything. People will be able to promote this out ourselves and say, hey, you want a piece of the Breakfast Club? Here you go, baby. Here's a piece right here every Friday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, right here at this Zoom link. You come on in and get a piece every Friday. How about we rock your weekend? How about we send you into the weekend with like some of the greatest attitude that you've had in as long as you can remember? Because you got in here and you saw all these people sharing their stories, learning, talking about the things they learned this week. And so I think it sounds like a fun project. I know that I've enjoyed this time today with you guys. And I'm looking forward to next Friday. I'm looking forward to Monday. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to every single day. It's a beautiful thing to be looking forward to every day. And so you guys, I love you. Thank you so much. But is there any last thing you guys would like to leave? We're done.
No, thank you, JJ, for organizing this. And, I too, like you, I said I couldn't afford this. And then I just said, you know what? I can't not afford it. I need to just do it. And I'm so glad I did. Just even meeting in a smaller setting, I think is also helpful in getting me to maybe open up a little bit more in the larger setting. So thank
Pretty
you for
soon we'll
doing
have you rocking around like me.
this.
Same thing with Rodgar. We'll get him all ready to rock and roll too. He'll be doing lives while he's rocking down the highway. So you guys, I love you guys so much. Have an incredible day and have a great weekend. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday.
Are the
And,
aligned calls
and
recorded? Because I got to
yes,
go back to my class, but are they recorded? Yeah.
this is getting recorded and I'm going to record all of them. And
No, the call after this that I can't be on.
yes, it'll be in the Align group.
It'll be recorded. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay. Bye, Tracy. Get a home.
You guys have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend,
Okay.
and
You too.
and I'll
Nice
see
to
you
meet you.
Monday.
Love you
Okay.
guys. Hooty
Bye-bye.
Love you.
hoo.
Bye.